Welcome to r/Am I the Butthole, where OP's mom marries a kid lover. Am I the butthole for telling my husband that I don't care his mom cried or that it made him upset? My husband blames me for making his mother cry because I'm sick of her coming to my home with her creep of a husband, my husband's stepdad. This man texted his granddaughter, who was a teen at the time, for a sexy picture. This was 4 years ago. My mother-in-law separated for a little, but then got back with him in secret. She got him sober after 2 years, and then this year, she's been trying to involve him and mine in my husband's lives, because none of her other children really speak to her since they found out, especially the son whose child was affected. I don't blame them. Her excuse has always been, he was on drugs. He treats me so amazing. He's sober now and is upset by his actions. I genuinely don't give an F. He is what he is, and I refuse to let that type of person around my child. But because he's previously visited the home and I was cordial, she thought all was well. But absolutely not. Thanksgiving was my final straw. She made a comment that everyone needs to get over it and that she deserves to be happy. Mind you, she was invited to her other son's house for the holiday, but because she refused to leave the creep home, she made my husband feel bad so we also wouldn't go to my brother-in-law. When Christmas came around, I put my foot down and said that man is not allowed in my home. So the 24th and the 25th, my husband ignored his mom's calls. The 26th, he goes to her house and tells her I didn't want them there and that they're no longer welcome. She apparently starts crying, saying the same 3 excuses of why she forgave him and that I was a liar and two-faced. And her crying fit upset my husband. I told him I genuinely do not understand why he's so upset. His mom is worried about herself and her feelings. I can't feel bad for her. So because of that, I lack empathy and I'm the terrible person. To be clear, my husband doesn't excuse his stepdad's behavior whatsoever. But he can look past it because he got sober for my mother-in-law and because, like my husband loves to remind me, I'd go to jail if he tried that. To which I reply, you wouldn't have to if you don't give him an opportunity. My husband's reasons for being upset are, 1, his mom has been through so much, she deserves happiness. 2, his mom has done everything for him and none of her kids love her except him. 3, he'd never let anything happen to our child, who's 18 now. 4, he doesn't want his mom dying alone. Personally, I don't give an F. I want my child safe over his mom being happy. I think his mom deserves the hate because she chose a disgusting man over her family. And I never said his mom wasn't welcome, just the creep. So am I the butthole? You know, it's really hard to have sympathy for someone who brings a P word into the family. Personally, OP, I don't think you're going far enough. If someone married a P word, I wouldn't let the P word or that person into my home ever again. It's just completely not worth the risk, ever. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the P word 5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for making my wife do all the chores since she used the chore money for herself? I work out of town at a very physically demanding job. Strangely enough, I'm really lazy. But I make lots of money, so I have no problem paying for people to do all my housework and yard work. I have a cleaning lady and a kid that mows my lawn and shovels the snow. My wife knew all this throughout our relationship. I didn't keep it a secret or anything. She actually seemed to appreciate that my place was always clean when she came over, and that there was more than just pickles and beer in my fridge. She lived with her parents to save money while she paid off her student loans. We discussed her living with me or even just in my house while I was gone, but she wouldn't go for it. Her family is very traditional. Anyways, we got married in September and she finally moved in with me. She's amazing, and I'm stunned by how hard of a worker she is. I also offered to pay off the remaining balance on her student loans, but she won't agree to that. What she did agree to, though, was her taking over housekeeping and shopping in return for the money that I used to pay my housekeeper being added to her budget. It kinda sucked, but a couple of guys I work with took her on, so she's okay. The problem is that her dad is big on doing all the work around his house. I am not. I pay people to clean my gutters. I pay plumbers, electricians, whatever. I work extremely hard for 14 days in a row, and when I'm home, I want to relax. I want to walk my dog and not much more. My dog lived with my parents when I worked, but now he's home with my wife. since we got married late in the year, my lawn didn't need to be mowed after our honeymoon. We've had a weird year for snow, like we just got our first big dump. And since I was coming home last night, she told the kid not to shovel. And she kept the money. Whatever, we're a partnership. She can make decisions like that. However, despite whatever her dad has to say about it, I don't shovel. I could get hurt, or worse, sweaty. So this morning, I made sure my wife knew that if the snow wasn't removed in 48 hours, we would get a citation from the city. They would send out a crew to shovel, and we would be charged for it at city union labor rates. She said that I could shovel. I said I could, but I wouldn't since I'd budgeted for someone else to do it. She ended up having to do it herself. She tried calling the kid, but he was going to school, so he couldn't do it until afterwards, but he had other clients to take care of. She's mad at me because I could have shoveled. I fully could have, but I didn't want to. I never want to. That's why I pay other people to do that stuff. I don't even like that I have to unload my dishwasher now. I used to just throw dishes in there and they would end up in the cupboard. Am I the butthole for assuming that if she took the money for a job, then she would take responsibility for the job getting done? So basically she's being paid for a job and she's not doing the job. OP, in any other job, that would result in an instantaneous firing. Then OP posted an update. We got another big dump of snow today. My wife knew that I wasn't going to do it and she didn't want to do it. So she called her dad for help. He told her he would come and do it and talk to me after work. Cool. I'm warm inside with my dog. I'd already talked to the kid and he'd already done it, been paid, and skedaddled. I was gonna tell my father to stay out of our marriage when it came to finances and stuff. Well, her father went to his house first and shoveled his sidewalk first and slipped on his sidewalk and twisted his back. So he didn't finish, and he won't be coming over here after all. Anyways, her dad isn't seriously injured, no broken bones or a concussion or anything. They had him checked out. But now my wife is home and it's supposed to snow for the next few days. She wants me to go shovel her dad's place since it's too hard for her mom. And her brother said that he has work stuff and only showed up because it was an emergency. I volunteered to pay my kid, who is not biologically related to me in any way, to drive over there and shovel. I even said that I would drive him over and have that talk with her father. My wife has agreed that it's best that I pay for yard work and snow shoveling. I'm working on her with the housekeeping. And I'm talking to her about the student loans in the car. Well, the universe sure proved your point very, very quickly. If that had been you who twisted your back, then you would have missed out on at least 14 days of work, which definitely could have paid to cover someone to come shovel the sidewalk. So OP, you're 1,000% correct here, and your wife is dumb and she should be fired. Not necessarily, divorce fired, that's not what I mean, but you should stop giving her money because she's dumb. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your wife 0.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for my USB killer frying my friend's PC after she snooped in my bag? I'm a 20-year-old woman and my friend is a 21-year-old woman. I always carry a USB killer in my backpack. It looks like any other thumb drive, except I stuck a tiny devil face sticker on it, so I know it's the dangerous one. I keep it on me because I still live at home and my parents are super nosy. If I ever left it on my desk, they would definitely pick it up and plug it into their laptop to see what it is. Yesterday, I had to leave campus in a rush and asked my friend to watch my bag for a bit. I ended up not having time to come back, so I just texted her to take it home and I'd grab it today. She said cool. She gets home, admits she got curious, and started going through my stuff. Finds the devil sticker USB, thinks it's my normal drive, and plugs it into her gaming PC to see what files I have. Her computer instantly dies. Motherboard and PSU completely gone. Now she's mad at me, saying I'm reckless for carrying something like that, and I need to buy her a whole new setup, even though she knows she shouldn't have been digging around in my bag in the first place. I feel bad her PC is dead, but come on, don't snoop and don't plug random drives into your computer. Am I the butthole? I have a semi-related story/piece of advice. I live in DC, and one of my buddies works for a private company that helps code missiles or gun turrets or something for the US military, and they go through very strict cybersecurity training. one of the things the company will do is they will leave USB drives in like the parking lot. And if any employee grabs a USB and plugs it into one of the work computers, it will instantly send an email to like HR being like, hey, this stupid employee just plugged a random USB into a work government secured security clearance PC, so they need to be fired or punished or something. Because, plugging in random USBs that you don't know what they do is incredibly stupid. Also, on top of that, it's just rude. OP, you're in the clear. She basically stole your stuff and snooped into your private life, so maybe she deserves to get burned. You get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your friend 1 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for sleeping naked in my own room? Since I was a teenager, I've always slept naked. I always get too hot at night, and it's just generally way more comfortable for me to sleep that way. Whenever I leave my room, I'm always dressed, or at the very least have shorts or something on if I'm going to or from the shower. My roommate knows this, and up to this point has had no problem with it, and we always knock on each other's doors anyway to be polite. The issue started when he brought over his girlfriend to stay a couple of nights. We all get along pretty well and have hung out a few times before, but this was the first time she had come over and spent the night. We'd all gone out drinking and got home pretty late, so once we all walked in, we just went straight to sleep. I, of course, went to bed with my usual routine of getting naked and hopping in bed. Well, sometime during the night, my roommate's girlfriend needed to use the bathroom, but she didn't know which room it was. My room and the bathroom are right next to each other, and she opened my door by mistake. I have a vague memory of her opening my door, but I was half asleep, and when she closed it, went right back to sleep. The next morning I woke up, and my roommate and his girlfriend were upset with me because when she walked in, she saw everything. And she was mad that I would sleep naked when a guest was over in the first place. They both said I need to start wearing clothes to sleep since my roommate's girlfriend is gonna probably be sleeping over more often, and it makes her uncomfortable. My argument was that I'm in my own private space away from them, and that while I understand it was a mistake, it's still her fault that she walked in on me sleeping. It's been a few days, and my roommate still won't let it go. I still sleep naked, and now, once on purpose, he's walked in on me sleeping just to see if I was naked or not. I don't really care about him seeing me naked, because we've seen each other naked before, but this is getting really out of hand. I don't think I should have to wear clothes to sleep just because it makes his girlfriend uncomfortable, even though I'm in my own private room. OP, you're 100% justified, but just for the sake of everyone's peace of mind, please install a deadlock on your door. Problem solved. The hypocrisy here is really crazy. So you're not allowed to sleep naked, but I'm guessing when she comes over to sleep, there's no hanky-panky, right? They're completely 100% dressed, right? Your roommate's really stupid, OP. Whatever, man, a deadbolt solves the problem. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. Your roommate and his girlfriend get 1 out of 5 buttholes. That was r/Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.